Philball.
Why hello, it is me, Andy Peters. Welcome to Philball Weekly. A lot to get through this week. We're going to start with the classified Philball results.
Philball classified results. Champions League. Bohemians 0. Saint Etienne 1. Leeds United 0. MK Dons 0. Europa League. Dortmund 2. Real Sociedad 1. FC Köln 0. Lazio 1.
So some incredible results in there. One stands out above all others, and that is the Bohemians lost to Saint Etienne. Bohemians look up to, and a win would have won the title, let's not forget, because of other results. Huge performance from Royce, which pretty much puts Saint Etienne in a position where they could stay up in the Champions League next season. For the other game was Leeds and MK Dons 0-0 draw. Some controversy with a definite handball and some other unusual decisions by the referee. But the standout for those is Koulibaly and Van Dijk, two of the best defenders in the game, really starting to look like the two best defenders in the game. For MK Dons, Kimmich has really established himself as one of the best players in the league, and continues to build on that with box-to-box performances, the likes of which we've never seen the likes of which in the Europa League. Dortmund played against Real Sociedad. Dortmund won, guaranteeing them at least a playoff opportunity. For Real Sociedad, that unfortunately is their season over, but they still have the opportunity to ruin somebody else's season, which is a win in itself. And one of the team that they could be ruining the season for is FC Cologne, who lost to Lazio, and selling Harry Kane came back to haunt them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. We're going to start with previewing the Champions League. So in the Champions League, MK Dons will be playing against Bohemians. We'll have a quick look at the football table. So as you can see, a win for MK Dons will win them the title. A win for Bohemians will win them the title. So everything to play for here. Back to me. Thank you. The key matchup in this, we're looking at MK Dons will probably be playing with a 4-3-3, and the key matchup for them will be Benzema against Umtiti. Benzema, who has only made a real cameo appearance but looks fantastic, up against one of probably the best defenders in Philball. If Benzema is one-on-one with Umtiti, I don't know whether who comes off the best in that. If he can isolate, on the other hand, Javi Martinez, it's a different story. For Bohemians, they'll be looking for Bale coming back into the squad. Now, I'm not sure whether they're playing Bale on the wide right. Bohemians are playing a 3-4-3, by the way. Bale will be playing on the right side of midfield. Now, I don't think he has ever played particularly well in Philball on the right side of midfield. He was a revelation at the start of the season through the middle, pushing him out wide right. Hasn't worked for anybody else, but can George Wright do it? We will find out in this game. Bale will be not only going forward, he will also have a lot of defensive duties, and they are going to be against Sadio Mane, who has looked more aggressive going forward and more impressive defensively. So we will see how those two get on in the other game in that group, Leeds and Saint Etienne. Leeds have the opportunity to win the title as well. If that match with MK Dons and Bohemians is a draw, Leeds on 6 points. We'll look at the table again. Thank you. Leeds are on 6 points, and a win could potentially put them on 9 points. They will need to win by 3 clear goals to give them the opportunity to win the title. So a lot to play for there for them. Saint Etienne, on the other hand, if they beat Leeds, will overtake them, leapfrog them, and put them in a really strong position for the playoffs, at least. For Saint Etienne, they'll be playing a 4-2-3-1. It's a ball formation. It's a formation that has worked previously for them. For Leeds, they're going to be playing with the same 3-4-3 that won them the Philball Cup during the week. Brilliant performance in that one. Absolutely dominated possession. but they were up against a Dortmund side without who had Sancho in there in the hole between the defence and midfield. This time they will have to cope with Royce and Fernandinho, who struggle at times against Dortmund, will be up against a far more mobile Dybala and Royce, who is far more direct than Jadon Sancho. It'll be interesting to see, on the other hand, how the Saint Etienne defence, Grimaldo, who has been isolated a couple of times, particularly by Hazard, who seemed to just put him on his back all the time, he will now be up against Salah. Salah has failed really to have the impact that one would hope for Leeds, but everybody else has eventually come good for them, so it'll be interesting to see if Salah does the same. We will now move on to the Europa League. So in the Europa League, Lazio are going to be playing against Dortmund. Top of the table clash. We'll have a look at the table. Thank you. You can see there that a win for Lazio will have them leapfrog Dortmund and put them as champions. A huge result for Dick, who many people had written off because of his unusual transfer dealings. But Harry Kane, back to me. Thank you. Harry Kane has the opportunity to he'll be up against Davinson Sanchez, and that is a matchup that I think we can all agree Harry Kane should be the stronger of the two. So if Lazio can isolate Sanchez with Kane, they're in a very strong position. Now obviously Varane is there as well, so it's not done and dusted, but it is a very good it is what they'll be looking to exploit. On the other hand, Dortmund, Pogba, fresh off 2 goals in the league in his previous league game, both from those fullbacks bombing forward. He will be up against Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong has been less than impressive for Lazio, so if Pogba can recreate his dominance, it looked like a nailed-on win for them. It is actually one of the few games that has a real same formation against each other situation there, with both sides playing with 4-2-3-1. So it'll be interesting to see which team comes out the best in it. Probably going to be a nailed-on 0-0 draw, in my opinion. The other game in the group is FC Cologne, and they're going to play Real Sociedad. We'll bring up the table again, and you can see that a win for Cologne puts them into a really strong position for if results go their way in the other game. A win for Cologne will put them in possibly the playoffs. A 2-0 win guarantees them the 2-0 win, and Lazio losing. Basically, they cannot afford Lazio to win that game. If Lazio win, then Cologne's season is over, as is Real Sociedad's. Now, Cologne are playing with 4-3-3 in this game against Real Sociedad. Last time out, Real Sociedad were torn to shreds down the flanks, with the three at the back really struggling to cope with the space that the opposition were finding themselves in, particularly fullbacks. Now Cologne are missing one of the better fullbacks, and are bringing in Wan-Bissaka, who is less attacking than Cancelo, but could be just what they need. He's certainly more defensively minded. For Cologne, they'll be looking probably for Insigne against Pavard as the real weak point in that Real Sociedad backline. So that could be something that they're looking to exploit. Lukaku and Ronaldo is also there, but I think Insigne will have to play well for Cologne to get anything out of this game. For Real Sociedad, they'll be looking for Eriksen to get on the ball as much as possible. He was fantastic at times against Dortmund last week, and has been fantastic all season. He will be up against Matuidi, who was absolutely abysmal in the opening game of this half of the season, but before that had been really good. So it's interesting to see how those get on. A win for Cologne is mandatory. They need to win this game to have any hope of getting anything out of this season. We'll that's about it. So we're going to finish with the little thing. This is the thing.
At those fancy Philball Cup review, and those fancy Philball Cup review. Hello, and welcome to my cup review, where I will be discussing and talking about the cup final that recently happened in Philball. It was good. So the two teams that were involved in it were Bohemians.
It wasn't Bohemians.
Huh?
It was this season.
This season one.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that. Bye.